Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Frank Thomas, your Executive Secretary.
And I'm Dr. Thomas Banister, your moderator, and together we are
Thomas and Thomas.
We're glad to bring you this show today, and we just want to get an opportunity to share with you some of the updates and highlights and what God is continuing to do in the life of the Rowan Baptist Association. You are a unique and important part to what we're doing and what we're preparing to do as we move into our preferred future together. And so we just wanted to share with you some of the highlights of the events that we've attended so far and just be able to give you information and inspiration to help you to continue to make impact in your global community, but also partnering with us in what God is calling us to do together as a collective association.
Amen. Dr. Banister, so delighted to be with you today. I'm sorry I couldn't make the last bi-monthly meeting, but I had a grandbaby I had to see.
Hey, man,
so
I don't blame you.
Priorities were in order. So I just want to ask, can you share with the Rowan family a little update on the past session and what you highlighted for the association?
Awesome. Well, I want to tell you, we had an awesome session. We had almost 100 people here.
Wow.
From all over Rowan who were sharing their stories and talking about their interactions with the Rowan Baptist Association, what it meant for their spiritual development. Because what we want to do is have a collective conversation from, we had people here as old as in their 70s all the way down to some of our youngest presenters were 10, 12.
Yeah.
And but we were able to find some common strands and use those common strands to really put together a preferred future, right? That we all can agree on, that we can find some common cores, and then we can use those things. So what we came away with actually is something that we were blessed to receive from our immediate past moderator.
Former moderator. He's not passed yet.
All right. Our former moderator, Dr. Michael A. Long, and we're so appreciative for him and for the foresight that God gave him to create this acronym from our name, which is Rowan. So what we want to do with you is just share with you some brief highlights about what the acronym Rowan means, because that creates the central part of our vision as we move forward. The first letter I want to give you is R. R stands for reaching out, reaching in, and reaching up. We recognize the fact that we have so many contributing churches, but we also have some who've kind of been inactive. So we want to make sure that not only did we reach in and connect with the gifts and talents and skills of those who are already engaged in Rowan, but we also know that we have some churches that we want to reach out to as well. But ultimately, whether we're reaching out, reaching in, we want to reach up. And we want to make sure that our worship experience is a transformative experience as we come together to worship God in spirit and in truth. And so we also have O.
O is for open doors. It's an open door for opportunity for education, employment, economic empowerment, and for emotional health. We want to open the door to Rowan so people know that this is a place they can come to get help, to get encouragement, and to get assistance when and if needed. Rowan can be a place that has an open door.
Awesome.
Then the W is what?
Working together. We recognize the fact that we can always do more together than we can apart. So the W deals with the idea that we want to encourage churches in each of our regions, and we're just so blessed to have one person from our executive team that is actually going to be coordinating each of our regions. They'll be in contact with the pastors very soon, because we recognize that if we share resources together, if we do youth ministry together, and if we operate in missions together, we can always do more together than we can apart. So that'll be coming soon to a theater near you.
And then the A stands for advance and affirm. We want to advance and affirm the men and women in Rowan that have been ordained in our association, and we want to make sure that they have opportunities to exercise their gift, whether it's preaching, whether it's teaching, whether it's presenting. We also understand that everyone who's called to ministry is not necessarily called to preach, but they have an opportunity to share those gifts when and wherever they can. So we want to advance their opportunities while at the same time affirming their call, because their call is not to Rowan, their call is to God. And then finally, the N is for networking.
That's right.
And this is a collaboration between Dr. Banister and I. We've been friends for a long time, but we want to make sure that everybody in Rowan knows that they're a part of the team, and we want to network, and we want to show people, show the diversity of Rowan, and then we want to share those opportunities where people can know that coming to Rowan is not a one-man wrecking crew or one or two people leading and running everything, but we want to make sure everybody knows that if we come together and network, we can share our experiences and we can scale it for the whole association. You can take bits and pieces for your church and your ministry, use what you want and not use what you want, maybe table it and wait for another season in your ministry. But ultimately, we want to network so everybody in Rowan feels a part.
Well, here's the deal. We've got some churches already doing some amazing things.
That's right.
You've got like a Union Baptist who, under Bishop Sir Walter Mack, is already doing the Renew Conference. We got a chance to attend that back in April, and I'm telling you, to talk about cutting edge ministry and to be able to partner with organizations that are already doing what we want to do, and they're future forward. So it gives us an opportunity, as you say, to be able to connect with those organizations, to scale it to size. You've got Galilee with Nathan Scovins. They have an awesome music ministry. They already have a great workshop. So what we want to do is be able to co-sponsor some of these events and invite all of Rowan to attend, so that we know that we want to be able to support the churches that are already doing ministry, but we also want to receive the benefit of those opportunities as well. So we've got a lot coming up. We want to continue to talk about our vision, and we want to continue to implement those pieces. And we're going to be getting this information out to you, so that if anybody were to ask you what Rowan is all about, you can hand them a brochure that explains what Rowan is all about. So we're definitely excited about that.
Well, that's a little bit about the past. So how about we fast forward a little bit to more recent past. Just last week, we both had an opportunity to share with the General Baptist State Convention in Wilmington for their annual session, and it was a high time in the Lord. Awesome. We had a great week of fellowship. We had a great week of inspirational preaching. As a matter of fact, Dr. Alvin Armstead, the new pastor of United Metropolitan Baptist Church in Winston-Salem, was the late night preacher. He told it.
But I got to brag on your executive secretary, because you need to know that you find Rowan's footprints all throughout the General Baptist State Convention. And so our own executive secretary is the actual coordinator for the late night programming. So the blessing was we also had a chance to honor the late Haywood T. Gray. Of course, he's my past predecessor here at Temple Memorial, but we also recognize that he was our executive secretary treasurer for the state and did some amazing things in that capacity. But they honored him, and the preacher for that event was J.D. Ballard, also a son of Rowan, also the pastor emeritus of the United Metropolitan Baptist Church.
So it was a Rowan connection
on
that Tuesday night. And we were just excited and delighted to be a part of the General Baptist State Convention. And I want you all to know that you continue to send in your contributions, and Rowan is a stellar contributor and supporter of General Baptist. And we were the third largest giving association in the state. We're not the largest association anymore, but I tell you, to be able to say that we're the third largest contributing association in the state speaks volumes of the 100 associations in the state of North Carolina. Rowan, you keep showing up.
So here's the deal. We only missed number one by, I think, $23,000.
Wow.
So just imagine if some of our inactive churches were just to engage with us in the process of creating that mark, what we could do to help advance missions, not only for Rowan, but also for the state, would be incredible. And I think that we can do it. What about you?
I think we can. And Dr. Leach, our treasurer, has come up with a new campaign, the Faithful 50. It's easy to do. If you could set aside and earmark at least $50 a month to send to Rowan per church, that would be $600 per year per church, and that would enormously increase our ability to do mission work within the Rowan Association. Now, don't get me wrong now. You're not limited to just $50.
Yeah, don't stop what you're doing.
Don't stop what you're
stop
doing.
What you're doing. Don't stop what you're doing.
Don't go down. God is continuing to bless the Rowan Association by leaps and bounds, but we can only be greater if we are together.
That's right. That's right. Greater together. So we hope that we provided some inspiration and some information to you. Stay tuned, and definitely we want you to make sure that you stay connected with us via Facebook or at our Rowan Baptist Association page. Please like us there so that you can get alerts, news, and information as we continue to put forth videos and give you the information that you need to continue to be a faithful and connected part of what Rowan is doing in this season. You got anything else for us, Brother Executive?
I'm just excited to be a part of the Rowan Baptist Association, the greatest association in the state of North Carolina.
Hey, sounds like a plan to me. With that said, this is your moderator, Dr. Thomas Banister.
And your executive secretary, Dr. Frank Thomas. And together we are Thomas and Thomas.